Hi there, this is Patrea. We could all do with getting more of the important things done in life. Yet most of us and most of the things on our to-do list are the things that really just fritter away our time. So 124 years ago, back in 1895, an Italian economist uncovered an observation that really has had widespread implications. His observation was that 20% of the activities in whatever we do account for 80% of our results. So when we think of it, that means 2 out of every 10 things on our to-do list really bring about more results than the other 8 combined. That means we're spending a lot of time doing things that really don't have the same kind of value that we really need to and want to be getting in our lives. So one of the ways that he coined these things were that the 20%, so the 2 out of the 10 things that are most important for us to do, are what he called, this is Vilfredo Pareto, these 20% of things are what he called the vital few. These are the things that are the most important to do, where we basically get more bang for our buck. We get more bang for our time, our effort, and our money. And when we do these things, though, we can have the tendency to want to put them off, because these are the things that are the most challenging. They can be the most complex, the most difficult, the most confronting for us personally, and we can have a great tendency to want to put them off because they're not things that fall inside our comfort zone usually. Yet we tend to spend our time on those 80% of things, those 8 out of 10 things that are perhaps a lot easier to do. They might be a little bit more enjoyable, and they're what he calls the trivial many, and we can fritter away our time doing much of the trivial many, spending too much time in our inbox, on social media, on the trivial social media side of things, not these wonderfully worthwhile, informative parts. And so when we spend most of our day on the trivial many, we can just find that we're not making progress on the things that are really, truly important for us. And so a couple of questions for you in terms of thinking, how could you apply the 80-20 rule in more ways for your life? So when you write down the things that you want to do for the day, perhaps you want to ask yourself the question, is what I'm about to do, does it fall in the top 20% of the things that I really need to, or are the most important things for me to do, that are likely to bring about the greatest positive impact for me? Or is what I'm about to do, does it fall in the bottom 20%? Those things that really are just frittering away my time. And if there's one thing in life that we have definitely a limited resource of, it's time. We don't know when, but that is something that we can't claw back. Once it's spent, it is gone. It's gone for good. So when you think of the things that are on your list today, ask yourself, does this fit in the top 20% of the things that's going to give me a great return on my time, effort, and possibly money? Or does it fall in those bottom 80%, the things that really perhaps are, I'm just doing because they're the easy thing? So ask yourself that question all the time. Now, one of the keys to applying the 80-20 rule is to resist the temptation to do those 80%, those trivial many, first thing in the day. Because it can be really tempting to want to just, get on with things, do the easy things. Now, sometimes they're things like paying bills, and yes, they're important. However, that's not necessarily going to help you progress the things that are most important, those bigger tasks. So potentially, if you were working towards some larger project, it's doing something that's taking you forward on that regard. If you're writing a book, it might be writing a paragraph or a page. that you want to do that every day and making that progress a priority for you. So what we can do is we can have the temptation to do the easy things first. It might be booking an appointment, paying off a bill, checking our emails, checking Facebook. But when we get into doing that, it becomes a habit, and we end up spending a lot more of our time just doing the things that are taking up time, those 80% of things that are in the trivial many, rather than doing the thing that's most important. A couple of days ago I spoke about Jerry Seinfeld's approach to writing better jokes was writing more jokes. So he set about writing a joke a day, and that was how he came to write better jokes. But he tracked them, he tracked writing it. So that was something he prioritised by doing. So it was a harder thing potentially, but it was something he committed himself to doing. So that would fall into the 20% of those things that are the vital few. So what are your vital few tasks that would be worthwhile for you to do more often, more regularly, on a committed basis, and really prioritise that? So that one thing, by asking yourself, what's my vital few things? Yes, I might have many things to do, but what's the thing that's really going to give me the greatest positive impact, both now and potentially in a far greater way in the long term? Look forward to hearing how you might apply this in your life. Thanks for your time. Cheers.